Hey learners, welcome to the Nav Nerds.
In the previous video, we have learned about the sum function and the other DAX basics. Today, we are going to learn about the logical functions. As these functions help us to make decisions inside our calculations, if the sales is greater than 10,000, display it as the high sales, or the profit is negative, display it as the loss. We can plot these kind of business rules by interacting with the logical DAX functions. So let's get started. First, let's have a look on the logical functions. Logical functions evaluate one or more conditions and return a result based on whether these conditions are true or false. They are similar to the decision making statements in the Excel or the programming language. Let's have a look on if function. If the condition is true, it returns one value, or otherwise it returns another value. Now let's create a practical example. I will create a new calculated column which is sales category. If the sales is greater than the 300, the chair, laptop, monitor, printer and the table, these products have the sales greater than or the equal to the 300. I will display it as high sales and the otherwise as the low sales. In the new column, the logical test where we define our condition, the result if true, we will define here what's the return outcome of the if function if the value goes to true, and return if false. Here we will define the false value in which the outcome is not true. So our first condition will be total sales is greater than equal to 300. That will be called as high sales. Otherwise it will be low sales. First I have defined the condition. If the total sales is greater than or equal to 300, it will considered as the high sales, or it will considered as low sales, and then commit. Here's our sales category column. It correctly defined the high sales and the low sales, which we have made the condition in the formula. The chair, laptop, printer, table, monitor, these all have the sales greater than or equal to the 300. This is our if condition. Now let we look on the switch function. Now suppose instead of two conditions, we have many conditions. For example, if the profit is greater than 200, we will call the product as excellent. If the product is greater than 100, we will call it as good. And the greater than 50, we will call it as average. So where's our total profit? Here it is. In the new measure, I will create it as performance. and then the formula switch. First, I have to define the expression, the value, and the result. If the value is true, or the condition of total profit is greater than 200, then it will be excellent. Now, the second value, if the total profit is greater than 100, we will call it as good. And if profit is greater than 50, we will call it as average. Otherwise, poor. And then commit. We have our measure here. I have to add in this. It has also done it for the totals. Here we will use another formula in the performance. If has no value of the sales product, then it should return blank. In this, I have used the function has no value. If the function is at the raw level, it will calculate whether it's average or poor. And when it's at the total level, it will not calculate anything. It will show only the blank. And now we will see the AND function. Sometimes one condition isn't enough. Suppose we want to identify the premium sales where the sales amount is greater than 300 and the profit is greater than 100. Both conditions must be true. So let's find out the formula for that. If and the AND. Total sales is greater than 300 and the total profit is greater than 100. The function will simply checks the if the product is having total sales greater than 300, profit is greater than 100, it will be a premium sales or not. Let's find out. Here's we have. Let's also add the total sales in it. Only the two products have the premium sales. as marked here as yes or no. And let's also find out the OR function. It requires only the one condition to be true. As usual in the new measure, I have named it as on the function name. Now the condition will be if and the OR total sales is greater than 300 and the total profit or the total profit is greater than 100, then the result should be yes. Otherwise, no. Let's find out the product OR. Here it meets the condition 300 and the 100. Here's it no, no, yes. Here's also yes, no, no, yes, and the no. So that's how you can simply use the OR function, also the and, if, and the switch. We have seen the if condition, switch condition, and the and condition, or condition. So that's how you can apply the logical functions in the Power BI. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.